tuning in to my take. So, I want to talk about the WNBA. And the reason why I'm getting on the WNBA is because the whole entire time that they were talking about people watching the lead, equality, women power and all this stuff, right? And basically what they did, they end up showing you guys how much of a hypocrite they are. It's really about the bottom line and it's really about the dollar. Because if there were about equality, first of all, the whole league, especially with woman empowerment, right? The whole entire league of the WNBA is what? Women, right? But now you got somebody that's like Caitlin Clark. Then you got somebody like Angel Reese, who's basically been treated differently, right? By amongst their peers and by some people. But now what's going on is you got the WNBA who's basically extending plays, making fines, like all this stuff, right? Some of it is warranted, others are not. But what they are doing now, I feel, in my personal opinion, I believe that Angel Reese is now a target. I believe this. I literally believe that. But I'm here to talk about these two women, but I'm here to more expose the WNBA because the WNBA, the women in the WNBA, they basically made it to where men was being shamed for feeling like we were treating them unequal. We were being shamed for feeling like we wasn't doing our part, right? But now that the ball is on a lot of these women's court, look at what's going on. You don't get no support amongst women because I'm looking at it, right? I'm looking at it. Women beg women to basically support them, but there are women that's not supporting the women. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. And then on top of that, like I said, the WNBA has made it seem like they were all about equality, but they are treating one person better than the rest. How does that make sense? You got Caitlin Clark, who's being treated like the WNBA's darling. Then you got Angel Reese, who's being treated, as she said again, like the villain. And all this is stemming from the way that people perceive things. All of this stuff that these women have talked about is going against all the things that they ask for men. The WNBA is the one that's getting it wrong right now because people all around, and I'm not going. Matter of fact, I ain't going to even just say the WNBA. I'm gonna say people is getting it wrong right now. Squash that. People is getting it wrong right now. They're talking about how, they need to make sure that they build a lead. It ain't going to be no lead to build. In a minute, it's not about to be a WNBA. It's not, if they don't execute on this situation with Caitlin Clark is here, and then the fact that they got all of these people, you know what I'm saying, paying attention to the NBA, if they don't capitalize now, they're going to forever lose the opportunity and ability to grow because like there's too much bickering and crying that's going on. It's a lot of crying from Caitlin Clark. Is situations to where Angel Reese have to portray herself as being a villain, right? There are situations that basically is a hard foul. Now they looking into it because they want to soften the way that they play it versus this lady when they really only playing hard to try to, make a name for themselves. How they gonna make a name for themselves if they gotta basically play damn near 5 feet away from her? It's like they almost just want her to be able to shoot the ball, and if she miss, she miss. That's not how the game go. That's not how the game go. She hasn't been doing well. Okay, there's been a lot of great defense on her, and out of the frustration and the stuff that's going on, what are they doing? They're talking about other things. They're not talking about the gameplay of Caitlin Clark. They're talking about how she's being targeted. That's the narrative. And the fact that people are okay with degrading some players, right, just to big up and to try to make an excuse for her lack of play, I don't agree with that. That's why when I'm looking at stuff, I'm telling y'all that I look deeper into what they're doing. The agenda is Caitlin Clark has not been playing well according to her standards. She, the way that she played in Iowa is not translating to the WNBA. Why? Because they're playing her a little more physical than the rest, right? They're playing her a little more physical. But a lot of people think that they're playing her a little more physical because they're jealous. They're playing her a little more physical because if you shut her down, maybe you can make a name for yourself. Has that ever stopped? Because I know when I grew up and some of the people that grew up, when you got the best player that actually comes to the gym, you try to shut that person down so you can get the credit. What is different? So since we can't talk about how good she's been on the court, now we're going to talk about how targeted she is. Like, it's killing the sport. It's making me stop watching. Y'all seen how many videos that I did of the WNBA talking about these ladies, right? And I just got turned off because I hate the fact that people are trying to make it seem like all of these ladies, and even with Pat McAfee with his disgusting comment, oh, it's a white beat. Oh, is and she's this is like, y'all making it about race. And then get mad and talk about people are race baiters. Y'all making it about race. And the fact that she has not produced yet, like she has in college, now people are focusing on other aspects. Nobody is targeting her. She's not scoring and she's not having the good games that she is because her shot selection. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. Her shot selection has been horrible. Okay, it has not translated. That's just the bottom line. Angel Reese, the same thing. She's been getting blocked a lot of times due to the fact that she does not have great footwork. Okay, the best players in the WNBA are Asia Wilson, it's Kalia Copper, it is Brianna Stewart, it is who else? Jackie Young. These are the best players in the NBA. They're not even the top performers. And we talking about them. What about the other ladies? That's, to me, that's what make this whole thing very hypocritical. You feel what I'm saying? That's what make it super hypocritical, because we talking about how somebody is being targeted, but the reason why they really talking about Caitlin Clark being targeted is because she's not performing the way that she should be. Then we undermining her part in certain situations, which is not cool. Then we got Angel Reese, who's talking about playing a villain role again. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that right now. What I want to hear Arike Agunbuwale. I want to hear her, who been putting up 30, who been putting up 25. I want to hear about Asia Wilson, who's been putting up a consistent double-double. I want to hear about her. I want to hear about Brianna Stewart, who playing for the New York Liberties, and they one of the top teams in the WNBA. That's what the WNBA should be doing. And that's why I told y'all the WNBA is basically hypocrites. Because if we talking about equality, you can't even show equality when it comes to your own league. How are you talking about equality? You can't even give or distribute the equal amount of opportunities amongst the ladies that you claim you want to help build. How much sense does that make? Talk about equality. Half of them ladies ain't even getting no TV exposure. And they wonder why that the lead is not growing. They don't know nobody in the WNBA like that. The only two people that they for sure know in the WNBA is Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Those are the only people you can guarantee that they know, because they're doing a poor job. And we talk about how, equality, how all these men have been pressured to support the league, just to find out the league don't even support the league. This is crazy. It's crazy. It's not making sense. So I'm trying to see what can we do to expand the league. And I'm telling y'all, I keep saying it. If you take Asia Wilson and you put more exposure, see, media know what they're doing. They can big up whoever they want to big up. They choose that. They choose that. If they want to big up somebody they don't even know in the WNBA, they can do it. They don't want to do it. The only person that they want to continue to, put in the forefront is one person. And they losing because of it. But then now they want to create every other scenario, every other situation, and making it seem like it's that, when it really is y'all banking on one player. Y'all banking on one player. And she's underperforming according to her standards. So ain't nothing making sense right now. The WNBA, their strategy is not making sense. Now, if they would have did the bird magic, the bird magic thing, that probably could have been a thing. That could have been a thing, right? The bird magic. But it's only Caitlin Clark. And then basically, when they're talking about the other ladies, they're talking about how jealous they are, how resentful they are, right? They're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And so how do you feel like that's going to make the other ladies feel? You disrespecting them, telling them because you're trying to play a lady hard and get credit and recognition and exposure that you're now jealous. How does that fare? And then you got the league who's more focused now on how somebody plays versus Caitlin Clark, and instead of allowing these ladies to just play the game. She was going to see her way through it, because that bump situation, like I tried to explain, it wasn't all innocent. Now, was the shot legit? No, it wasn't. But a lot of people, a lot of people are literally getting upset because they're talking about how, people making it a racial thing. But then you got somebody like Paul McAfee who comes out and say certain things that can cause racial tension. It's not okay. I wish, if I could have it my way, the way that I would have it, I would say, hey, you know what, bro? Are y'all gonna watch that game? Who playing? Oh, the Indiana Fevers. Who they playing against? Oh, they playing against the Las Vegas Aces. Oh, damn, yeah. That's a good, hey, bro, that's a good game. Her versus Asia Wilson. See, it always needs to be a dancing partner. That's why it's important for them to shed light on other women instead of just one person. I'm not in the WNBA. I got a friend that's in the NBA, but I'm trying to also give pointers to help them help the league. And you cannot lead with hypocrisy. And what I mean by leading with hypocrisy, if you're talking about equality and you're talking about fair pay and you're talking about fair this and you're talking about fair that, and then when you get to the league, the way that you treat one lady in comparison to the rest of the lady is unfair. Doesn't that make you hypocritical? Don't that make the lead a hypocrite? If they basically demanding of male men to come to their games and equality, you need to do this and that. Isn't that a hypocrisy? If that's not, I don't know what is. And if y'all like the content, man, I really appreciate it. If y'all hit the subscribe button. If not, I thank y'all for being in here anyway. But is that not hypocrisy? Because you're shunning one gender and saying that, oh, well, y'all don't support us, y'all don't support that. But then now that we're paying attention to the league, you got a lot of people saying y'all don't support each other. That should never be in somebody's mind. Y'all should always be supporting each other. And in fact, the women in the WNBA league should have way more in attendance than the NBA. Why? Why do I say that? I say that because there are way more women in the world that's talking about women empowerment, but then they're not supporting women. That's why a lot of people are not paying attention to, a lot of stuff that's being said. Because if you going to demand something of somebody, y'all got to at least have y'all ducks in a row. But I'm putting this on the WNBA. They got to get it right, man. They got to get it right. Because right now, all I can say is right now, the WNBA are blowing their chances of actually growing and expanding. They're growing their chances. They're blowing it. Because if this situation does not work, and remember what I explained and expressed to y'all. I explained and expressed to y'all that it is important of the success of the Indiana Fevers and the Chicago Sky. It depends on the success of them because that's what's going to help grow the league. And then they're going to have somebody like Juju Watkins come in here and then take it even a notch further. That's what it takes. And then they keep wanting to only promote one person. And it's not going to work. That's a losing formula. You feel what I'm saying? So people that think that, I'm just against Caitlin Clark and against, and sometimes I criticize Angel Reese, I do it due to the fact that these young ladies are, first of all, are the cream of the crop, right? But I also understand that in order for the league to grow, they have to be successful. So of course I'm rooting for them. Of course I'm rooting for the success, right? And of course I want them to the league to utilize their success to spread it around the whole league, to say, hey, yeah, y'all love Caitlin Clark, but look, we have these players as well. The top players. We have y'all. A lot of people don't even know who the top 10 players are. A lot of people do not know who the top 10 players are. And Angel, Reese, and Caitlin is not in the top 10. So I'm just saying, man, we got to get it right. We definitely got to get it right. I'm rooting for both of these young ladies. Two things can be true at the same time. Angel Reese could be good while Caitlin Clark is being good. Why do we keep dividing those two young ladies? Why can't two things be great at the same time? It never stopped. It literally never stopped. Bird or Magic. They both flourish. But the thing that I really wish that people would get out of their mind, man, that they creating a narrative, and Pat McAfee and lost his mind. Stop trying to make it seem like the whole league is after Caitlin Clark, because they're not. They understand what she means to the league, revenue wise. Nobody is targeting her, but that does not mean that they don't have to play hard on her. So those screens that she took, that's on her teammate, because they should have called it. They should have called it. The teammate was supposed to call that out. And it was a legit screen. So I guess the league wants you to move out the way when she doesn't see the screen. She want them to basically roll the red carpet out. Hey, Caitlin, I'm not going to screen you. That's what they want. I'm not for that. I'm for a hard game. I want to know who's the best, 100% guaranteed. That's why I took off from the NBA for so long, because everything was about money. I think Adam Silver was doing a terrible job. He was doing a literally a terrible job. Everything trying to create scenarios and situations to where LeBron James can flourish, right? The lead is only talking about LeBron James. And y'all see how it's been affected, because after LeBron James, now people got to basically get to know these other players that they would have otherwise known, and see that there's some really good talent. But now it's been hidden because all the media does is talk about LeBron James. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to say. I mean, understand, when people talk about you all day, all night, especially in media, of course you're going to be popular than the rest. That's just 100% factual. It only makes sense for that. Okay? It only makes sense. That's why Michael Jackson was one of the most famous men ever. He had a camera around him 24/7. That's just how life works. Okay? So when people say stuff to me like, you're just mad because Angel gets less attention than Caitlin. Like, bro, first of all, I'm not mad, because Angel is already getting her own exposure, her own recognition, her own endorsements. It's the other ladies that I want to help. See, when I do a podcast or do a show or whatever it is that I'm doing, I want to make sure that the person that I'm talking about, I want to help them get some exposure. That's what I'm about. I'm not about just talking about somebody in the worst way. I'm not about that. And I'm not about hearing nobody talk about somebody in the worst way due to the fact that they hate them mainly for probably racial purposes. I don't condone that. That's not okay. But the WNBA right now, I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying. Just take what I'm saying. You ain't got to believe me now, but take what I'm saying. And if they continue to go down this route, I guarantee you, even with Caitlin on here, I guarantee you the WNBA will go right back to what it once were, because people are not doing the right thing. They're not promoting the league the way that they should be promoting it, and it's going to affect them. And I've been trying to say this for a long time, since I've been aware of the fact they only willing to promote one person, one or two people. So, I blame the WNBA for that, because they have the opportunity to make that change. And I don't know if they're going to do it, but one thing I do know is that the WNBA has a really great opportunity to grow at this point. And it's up to them to continue to do the best that they can, and spread love to all of them. Because if we talking about equality and all that other stuff, the first place that should start is within your league. And if your league is not equal, if the players is not equal, people not getting equal opportunity, then basically all that stuff that was said to the men is a bunch of hogwash. So I'm banking on you ladies to get it right, and make sure, man, that y'all give each other exposure. Make sure that y'all support each other, buy each other jersey, spend some money on each other. Make sure y'all get other ladies to come support y'all, because if the ladies support the WNBA, then the WNBA will grow, because we already know the biggest consumer in this world are women. So that's just an actual fact. So before they come back to men and trying to shame men about their lack of support, make sure that you're addressing these ladies first, because they are the biggest consumers. They are the biggest consumers, and these are the same women that said that they support y'all and stuff like that. Now we just need to see the action. And if you can't do that, then you can't come to somebody else and try to shame and shun them, for their lack of effort. But that's all I got for now. If y'all enjoyed the content or like the content, man, I appreciate y'all. You just hit the subscribe button if y'all new. And that's all I got for now. I'll be on later on tonight, but it's for youth football. If y'all like youth football, make sure y'all come and tap in. That's all I got for now. I'm out.